Yo, I'm Brendan, and today we're going to talk about how much money I earned with my dividend portfolio that's got about $32,000 in it here in the last month. How much has it appreciated and just gone up in value? How much money have I gotten in dividends? What kind of things have I reinvested with those dividends? And overall, do I still think that dividend investing is worth doing? Because the goal of this series is to be a little bit vulnerable with you and show you what's happening in my real account so you can decide for yourself, is this something that you want to kind of pursue and go through the same struggles that I went through, or skip all that stuff and just invest in a totally different way? This is not investing advice. This is just me sharing my journey with you. Let's go. So the first thing I want to share is the new money that I invested this month, and it was very, very little. I only put in $5 of my own money, and that was into this funny sounding investment called DUSA. So it has nothing to do with a cursed monster lady with snakes for hair. It's just the Davis Select US Equity ETF. So it's got 24 different holdings in it. It's all US companies, and you can see here that the top holdings are basically a lot of names you've heard of: Meta, Berkshire Hathaway, Amazon, Capital One, Wells Fargo, those kind of people. Otherwise, everything else that went into the account this month, I basically got for free. So I wanted to start sharing my referrals with you, because sometimes I think that the way that people make videos online isn't exactly forthcoming. It's a little bit cryptic in terms of who is sponsored and how are they sponsored and how are they compensated. And so in this case, I just thought, hey, let me be forthcoming with you and show you all the money that I'm making from these videos as far as my relationship with Robinhood goes, because that would be refreshing. Why not? So in the month of May, I got 5 referrals from people. Thank you very much for signing up and using my link, which means I got paid $25 for that. And from day one with Robinhood, whenever I started getting referrals, what I've done is exchange that for Coca-Cola stock. Whenever you get one, they say, hey, pick a free stock. What do you want with it? And you can basically choose between a few companies. I've always chosen Coca-Cola. So if at any point you see on my portfolio the Coca-Cola line item, you know that all of my cost basis there has been from referrals from people who have watched these videos and signed up with my link. So right now, the market value of my position with Coke is $93.08. And the return on there is kind of funny because it acts like basically the whole thing is a return, because I didn't actually spend any of my own money on it. So it says I got a 58,000% return. It's really not that. And then the other fun free money I got this month was $5 from Robinhood themselves for doing basically like a little quiz thing within the app, and they called it the Retirement Learn and Earn Reward. If you go through there and answer a few questions and kind of follow along and do a little mini lesson, it literally takes a few minutes, then you can get $5. So that was pretty cool. So the grand total of new money that went into the account this month is only $35. But because we had money in the account before, we still got some nice hefty dividends despite not investing very heavily. My 2 JEP brothers both came through for me as I hoped that they would, and I got a nice chunky dividend from JEPI of $26. JEPQ is my newer position here that I'm still a little bit unsure of because it's a derivative income. So they're using advanced trading strategies to generate income. And for me, I typically stay away from that stuff. But in this one case, I decided to dip my toe in the water of this kind of risky, weird investing. And so I'm doing it here, but I don't feel warm and fuzzy about it. AG&C showed up, so did EPD, ET, PSEC, and a few others. And that gave us a total this month of $55.53. So if we calculate just the exact percentage return for just this month, it's pretty small, 0.19%. If you extrapolate that out for the whole year, like if I got the same return every month for the whole 12-month period of owning these stocks, it would be 2.25%. Not the best month. And this is one of those tricky things where I'm not exactly in love with dividend investing as a strategy for retirement income, because you don't have total control over how much money's coming out, when it's coming out, who's paying you, all that stuff. Granted, you could just study all of this and try and count on them doing the same thing that they've always done, and then strategize that way and say, okay, this way, if I have these investments here and those investments there, then I'll end up with an average of this much money per month and kind of pay yourself that way. But I just don't think that's necessary. I think the dividend income thing is fun, it's exciting, it's entertaining. But if I was going to actually retire today, like let's say I get another $1 million in the bank and I decide, you know what, I'm retiring, no longer working, I'd probably still make videos for you because I love doing this. But instead of doing that, I would just invest so that I could have the money grow over time. I would use the kind of the growth strategy. And then whenever I need to take money out, I would take out the exact money that I wanted to take out. It just seems very simple that way. I don't know why I would depend on a company and its dividend payments to decide how much money I get this month. It's just kind of silly. So now the number we've been waiting for, which has been dropping consistently over the year, is my average of yearly rates by month. And so what this is a term that I've just invented. What I'm basically doing is averaging out these numbers every single month. So I say if I was getting that same return during the month throughout the whole year, it would be this number, this 2.25. Then I average all of those out, and it's kind of my best guess as far as what to expect for an entire year. And the number has been consistently changing over time, but not in the direction that I want. It's been going down. And so you can see on my little handy dandy chart here that my trend line is consistently lowering over time. These are the monthly rates They're not doing super well, but I have a feeling that now that I've quit depositing more and more money, it's going to actually kind of average out over time and level out. It's just this 1 month where the calculation got really wonky in April. I think it's kind of pushing everything else down that slope, and so it looks worse than it is. But overall, I mean, I'm happy with the returns. I'm happy with the results as a whole. It's just months like this that make it a little extra difficult to hang in there and believe in the story of dividend investing. Oh, but I almost forgot. This isn't the whole story. It's not just that I got 2.25% dividends. I also got some capital appreciation on the account. So let me show you that. So in the last 1 month, I've gotten 3.48% returns, which means I've basically made $1,000 for doing nothing. I do love making $1,000 for doing nothing. So a 3.48% return just in a single month is pretty ridiculous. Then I combine that with the actual individual return for this month, and that was 0.19%. I'm above 3.5% just for this month. I'm actually above 3.6% just for 1 month, which is obscene gains. I mean, those are amazing. And the last month in the stock market has been really strong. I mean, you can scroll down through the different things I'm investing in here in terms of stocks and ETFs, and it's just all green. It's not like I'm some guru and I've picked the best things and I've somehow figured this out. The stock market in general is going up. Things are going up. Things are good. I'm receiving a benefit for having been invested. That's all it is. And year to date, it's also been awesome, but especially in the last month, it's been ridiculous because over half of the gains I've gotten year to date have happened just this month. So we're not even halfway through the year, and I've gotten a 6.06% return just for having money invested, just for its own growth, for like the stock price moving up or the ETF price going up in value. I've had $1,845 worth of change happen. And then if I just do a little bit of math, I can see that I've made a total of $491.33 in dividends this year just from this one account. So overall, just from having this dividend investing account, the appreciation of the account plus the dividends has been a net gain of $2,336, which is pretty decent. I mean, I'm happy with that. But I think what I'm reminded of whenever I see an account do like the kind of things that this account's been doing, which is just having some really great days and going up and up and up in value, it just reminds me that the game is really just being invested. It's spending the time and energy to work and have money to be able to be invested and have the money there and be ready to appreciate this kind of gain that's happening. I think a lot of people see something like this and they go, oh man, I better start investing because like the train's leaving, so I've got to jump on it. When really the train has already left. Like it's been gone. It's traveled this distance and created this gain for those of us who are investing. And there's really no way to catch up to that. Like you can catch the next train before it goes, but who knows what's going to happen in the next year, 2, 5, 10 years. And so granted, the majority of these gains are unrealized. That $1,845 is not money in my pocket. It's not been secured and like put in my account to where I know that I have it and I can spend it on burritos and race cars. It's not that situation. It's still variable. It can still go up and down plenty, but I just don't feel entirely responsible for the expertise of investing in such a perfect way that my account has appreciated a bunch. It's more like, you know what? I bought my tickets early on and now I get to watch the show. I'm here. I'm enjoying seeing what's happening. It's a spectacle. I'm happy to be here. So I think my old investing philosophy rings true, which is invest as much as we can, as early as we can, and do that over and over and over, and then be patient along the way and keep it up until the time comes that you decide you don't want to work anymore or you've got enough money and you're going to go buy an island or maybe a couple of Lambos just for funsies. If you want to see a lot more of my backstory and kind of how I got started in investing, why I do what I do, how I grew up on a dairy farm and then decided to transition out of that and get into the world of investing in construction and YouTube videos and all this jazz, then you can watch this video, which is an interview that I did with another YouTube channel. Ari's had this series going on where he interviews people who are specifically investing in dividends and kind of using them to reach financial freedom. And so I told him up front, I was like, I'm not like an expert. I'm not some guru in this, and I've only been doing it for a year and a half. And so I don't quite fit the same mold as a lot of these other experts that have been on his channel. And so it was a fun hour-long conversation with Ari. I don't know if you want to watch me talk for another hour, but if you do, then here's a video link. And the secret comment word for today is film, because I got to go get my film developed. Been getting into film photography. It's a lot of fun. This is actually old motion picture film that they used to shoot movies with. They roll it up and give you exposures that you can take stills with. So I'm going to go get this developed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.